Before I start this lesson, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to 144,000 men that's pushed to believe this word and I trust the sincerity and sacrifice their lives and wants to do so. Shalom to the men, women, and children that's tuning in and listening. And shalom to his ill life foreigner scattered abroad on all four corners of the earth. The Heavenly Father name is Yahweh, his only begotten Son name is Yahweh Shai. And Lord, one is edifying, quick, and straight to the point. This video right here will be entitled "Prophets Have to Sacrifice, and You Won't Have It All." And recently, two North Carolina fallout/bug outs have basically just trying to make it seem as if they can't work or whatnot. In its truth, you have to. Obviously every man comes from a different position. Some brothers have different financial situations than others. Some brothers have been homeless before. Some brothers haven't. Some brothers struggle. Some brothers don't, or don't struggle as much as other brothers. Some brothers are, work certain days. Some don't, but ultimately, the individual basically was trying to make it seem as if he had to, he couldn't put time aside for this truth. And this is what a prophet has to do. Put time and effort into this truth or else the Lord will spew you out. Actually, Luke, I'm going to get that. Because the Lord doesn't tolerate an individual that's hot or cold. Individuals that have too much on their plate, the Lord is either going to make you do what's right and put you on the path of where you cut things off, or and then not even just that, you have to make the choices to stop messing with certain people, stop, you might have to get a different job, or things cut into camp. And, some brothers have to work Saturday. Some brothers might not be able to make it to camp on time. You try to do your best. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to make it to where all true prophets, apostles, and teachers will make it to camp, make it to sit down as much as possible, classes and whatnot. So I'm going to grab this real quick. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out my mouth. And yet, this is red letter, which is Yahweh Shai speaking. With everything that's going on in this society, obviously you have to work. Obviously, you have to pay your bills. Obviously, you have to be a man first before you can be a spiritual man. But you have to make sacrifices. Obviously brothers gave their examples. You gotta take time aside to read, to study, to fast, to pray, to grow in this truth. And jobs will try to get in the way of that. It's numerous times brothers had to lose a job or wasn't accepted into a job because they, had to decline on Saturdays. Me personally, I've had to decline from some, jobs that was going to pay me $100,000 a year, but they required me to work Saturdays and whatnot. So I wasn't able to have those jobs because why? You have to keep in mind that at the end of the day, these jobs not going to last you so far. The Lord can give and take away. The Lord do all things. The Lord, that's in Isaiah 45 also. But the Lord can give, increase, and take away as well. Some brothers come from all walks of life and positions. Not all Jake have, a stable financial situation in the sense of like they come from a wealthy family. Hardly any Jake come from a situation like that, because we under these curses. But ultimately, in this truth, you have to make sacrifices, right? So I'm gonna grab Micah chapter, was that 7 and 9 or 7 and 10? This is Micah chapter 7 and verse 9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord Yahweh, because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. And I grabbed this because why? Us bear the indignation of the Lord, us coming to our acknowledgments, our faults, and his truth. We have to come to the understanding that you will not be able to make a wealth great. So now some brothers some brothers had a lot to where they're able to do that, able to make some good money and put and have some money, but the Lord can have it to where those brothers put that money towards the camp or towards the tithes and offerings. Long story short, tithes and offerings. But most Jake, they can't handle not chasing the bag, because why? They want to fulfill what they want. They want to fulfill their wants. Now, we all know as men, when men come into a lot of money, obviously you do some of the smart things, right? Well, in some cases, some men pay off their debts, pay off their debts, get your car fixed, or buy you some new clothes or whatever. But after a while, or not even after a while, you start to spend your money on women. You start to spend your money on too much luxury things. And in the truth, we will have to abandon. It will come a point where we will have to abandon our homes, our cars, our jobs. And not just that, we will be forced to. A lot of brothers will be forced to lose their jobs because what? The MOTB is gonna cut out all of the liberty we have, and it's gonna come to a point where what? It's either you gonna choose the Lord or you're gonna choose Esau Edom's way of living, and it's gonna come to a point of where it's gonna be no return. And actually, I grabbed that too, because he made it seem as if you couldn't work or you couldn't work at all, but even if you may miss a Saturday camp, right? You could go to camp on Sunday. You could host your own camp on Sunday, things like that, or host a camp on Friday. You can't be lackadaisical. You can't be not just lackadaisical, but that's why I got that lukewarm scripture. But you can't be a part-time prophet and a part-time you can't have one foot in the world and you can't have one foot in the truth. You have to be all in. In this truth, we have no plan B. We have a plan A, and we're sticking with that plan A. What they say, shooting for the fences, we're shooting for the fences in this truth because why? We know that according to 2 Peter chapter 3, not just that. Well, first I'm going to paraphrase this. The fashion of this world passeth away. And why? And why is it going to pass us away? Because why? The MOTB's coming, and these nukes are going to waste away our possessions, this land, houses, everything. And not just the nukes, but the laser beams from the chairs are going to waste away all these things too as well. We're going to have to completely give up if not all possessions, a vast majority. Actually, no, all our possessions, because we ain't gonna be able to take anything on this earth outside of not even our bodies gonna make it into the kingdom. We're gonna have to get new bodies. So how much more so your car, your house, your money, your clothes? We have to put off the worldly things to pursue the spiritual things. So this is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for he either and this is really, which is Yahweh Shai speaking, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. He cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. So meaning what? You cannot serve money or chase the bag in a sense of overly chasing the bag to it. Now, obviously, brothers got to work. As I said, you can't just sit there in the truth. Can't just sit around in the truth and not, do something. Especially if you're able-bodied. Now some older men have different positions. Some older brothers can't work. Some older brothers, have more time on their hands, and the younger man works. But at the end of the day, what? We all know that you have to have some type of financial stability. Even if the Lord has it to where a lot of brothers, right, may Uber or DoorDash. There's some type of stability with that, right? But at the end of the day, you can't be trying to chase the bag and serve the Lord. You either will choose the Lord or choose money. And it's going to come to a point of where you will not be able to hold to the things of the world, like I just said. Actually, I'm going to grab that 2 Peter 3 real quick. This is 2 Peter chapter 3. And I start at verse... Where is that verse? Okay, yep. This 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up, right? And guess what this next verse says? Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness. So everything that from cars, clothes, watches, chains, PlayStations, Xbox, money, all of these things are going to be burnt up. Everything that's materialistic in this place and that doesn't have no spiritual meaning, even these Bibles going to burn up. Even garments are going to burn up. So what? That means what? You're going to have to be able to have the fortitude and a spiritual hedge around you to be protected. And that don't come by, I'm going to just work and serve the Lord when I get the chance to. No. You will either sacrifice in this truth or it be turned to the wayside. And it's just that simple. There's no in between with that. There's no in between. You can't just sit up here and sacrifice and give Esau Edom all your time, because why? This devil will make you work till you drop and still make it to where you're not able to still be able to sustain yourself. Not just my peoples, but there's people that will tell you to take your time, because why? At the end of the day, these devils can work you, and have it to where you still, if you was to pass, your family won't be taken care of. They just hire the next person. But labor of love, that's one too. But forget not your works. What is that? Oh, damn, what is that? Because the Lord is not going to forget your works. The Lord is going to remember every work you did. The Lord ain't going to be unrighteous and be like, oh, well, you served me for a good portion of your life, but you still going to suffer and not giving any hope or any chances. No. Where is that verse? Yeah, okay. Wait. Is that? Damn, where's that verse? Where's that verse? Lord willing, I can find it. Because the scripture I'm looking for basically saying the Lord ain't going to forget your works. And he will... What is it? Okay. Nope. No, that's not the Revelations. Where's that verse at? Lord willing, I can find it. But if the Spirit don't let me find it, then the Spirit don't. But the Lord will basically reward you for your works. The Lord isn't a power of unrighteousness. The Lord does things in a just weight and a just measure, and the Lord has a balance. And in this truth, you have to find a balance. You got to find that balance between work. You have to find a balance between work, spiritual means, and brothers have 3, 4, 5 kids. There's lots of brothers in the truth that have children and have fatherly responsibilities. But at the end of the day, the Lord can take, just like with Job. Job had everything. No, not even Job. Solomon had everything he wanted. That's what Ecclesiastes is about. Job is another example. Solomon had money, everything an Israelite would want. Money, women, food, the best. What's the word I want to use? I don't want to say clothes, but the best fabrics, the best everything. Silk, gold spoons, everything. Everything Israelites want, everything a Jacob want. But Solomon fell because he committed idolatry and he fell. In Ecclesiastes, it goes to show that at the end of the day, what matters more, serving the Lord or serving your own belly? And it says what? The duty of man is to fear and serve the Lord. As an Israelite man, not chasing the bag, not sitting up here sacrificing everything you got to ultimately lose it all because of this damn devil. So from there, I'm gonna get Micah 2 and 10, and then I'm gonna get this Luke, and then I'm gonna close out. So this is back in Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. Pretty simple. This is something, especially, I speak for myself, but this is one of the first famous scriptures I used to hear coming in when I came in. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. And that's exactly what we have to keep in mind. And that's what those individuals didn't keep in mind. That this place is not your place of rest. Babylon ain't the place to be resting. This ain't the place to be sitting up here kicking back on your feet. Now, obviously, you can't just work 24/7. You can't just sleep all the time. You can't just be working 24/7, but you can at least make time for the spiritual things that you make time for. And if you don't, you're going to be spewed out. You're going to be pushed out. And that's a scary thing because some individuals have fallen out because they didn't make enough time or they didn't do the right things. And it's getting down to the wire. So everything that you put your time in will be shown and invested in all. Regardless of how long you've been in this truth, or it ain't gonna matter. The Lord knows the intents of your heart at the end of the day. So I'm gonna grab this Luke 9 and then I'm gonna close out. So this is in the Gospels. This is Luke chapter 9, and this is red letter, which is Yahweh Shai speaking also. This is Luke chapter 9 and verse. I'll start at verse 59. And he said unto another, Follow me. Yahweh said, Follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go bury my father. And Yahweh said unto him, Let the dead bury their dead, right? But go thou and preach the kingdom of the Lord, right? So what? You can't turn your hand on this plow. Actually, no, I'm going to keep reading. Verse 61, and another said unto the Lord Yahweh, by Shem Shai, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house, right? And Yahweh said unto them, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh by Shem Shai. So you have to be diligent and dedicated in this truth. You have to be diligent, dedicated, and about this completely. You can't just sit here and pick and choose when to be diligent, when not to. This is a daily thing. This isn't just something you do when you feel like it. No, you have to be about this truth every single day. No matter if it's watching videos, if it's reading, if it's reading and studying, or doing a video. You know? So at the end of the day, it's not about mammon. It is all about the Lord. And if you choose to serve mammon than the Lord, you will fall. But Lord, when this video is edifying, I'm going to close out by giving all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadasha. Lord, when this video is edifying, then also next one. Shalom.